creativity to me is to explore what is possible. The possible is here defined by what I can do with the piano, with my hands and my arms, and how the piano responds to my gestures. The possible unfolds in a process over time in an improvised dialogue. Sometimes between people, you are all great improvisers. Every dialogue is an improvisation, sometimes between the musician and his instrument. The conditions for dialogue can be very different in different situations, in different places. Some people respond differently, as do technologies. The piano gives me a rather direct response that I know well through decades of practice. I have a pretty good mental model of the piano. I can predict what it does. It is more an extension of me, of my body, than an agent in itself, but it still carries thought, ideas and implications from its numerous designers over centuries of its evolution. But what happens if we alter the conditions for the dialogue? The way we listen to each other, the way we respond to each other. If I alter my piano, my technology, now I play with a delayed copy of myself. This is an old trick. Complexity from simplicity. We have all sung a canon when you were kids, Frère Jacques or something like that. The delay is just a little bit too long for me to keep track of what I just played. Currently about 16 seconds. It creates a distance, so it feels like another pianist is here, even if it's just me. A kind of minimal agent. We know it's not smart or anything. It's just a mirror of myself. But it changes what I do, fundamentally. I have something to react to, and it reacts to me and to my reactions. This tells us to be careful with ascribing agency or intelligence to algorithms. Let's make the agent a bit more non-linear, more complex. Here my playing interacts with 4 virtual pianists. They have 1 finger each. Anything I do changes what they do. It changes the conditions of their dialogue between themselves. This system is complex and chaotic, also in a strict mathematical sense. But it's not at all random. Only highly complex, even unstable, I can take small steps and observe the consequences. But the fact is, I don't understand the rules, even if I wrote them. Or rather, the rules are so complex that I cannot predict their consequences. I will have to try and listen, probe, ponder, and react. And they react to me and to my reactions. We can try a similar thing, but based not on the notes I play, but on the sounds. You can hear that the loops and noises actually come from what I just played. It records me, plays it back, controlled by the keys I press. I react to what I hear, and it reacts to me and to my reactions. Let's see what happens if I alter the timbre of the instrument, letting the acoustic instrument play on virtual strings. Now we're back to a more direct interaction, more like a new or transformed instrument, but with some unpredicted behavior added. This makes me play differently, but I still have full control over when it plays. This gives me space to talk a little bit. The shortcomings of human cognition and perception are directly related to our creativity. We cannot read each other's thoughts. If we could, conversation would be meaningless. But trying to understand is the key to new meanings. Our limited capacity to predict is directly related to our creativity. We have to try unknown things to step forward, but we also need to have very big ears and adjust the direction of our next step accordingly. And we can never plan too many steps because reality is complex. Improvisation is like life. There is no script, only different modes of interaction. If you're not ready to interact, but hold your firm, predetermined views, you will very quickly be deemed uninteresting, and people stop listening because there is no interaction. This is valid also for all algorithms, for artificial agents. So, what about agency? What is the minimal complexity required for perceived agency within the algorithm? That is, for us to think the computer is smart. We've seen a few examples, but they're really quite simple. Maybe this is just you and me ascribing agency to the algorithm based on our own shortcomings, our brain's computational limitations. Finally, let's look at a very simple machine learning agent. We can even call it naive. It looks at what I just played and plays something with similar properties. I can learn how it works, steer it in a certain direction, turn it off and play with it. Turn it on again. Play on it, play with it, and in it. Play in the system that is me and it. Me as a particular human agent with my particular reaction patterns and cultural baggage. And this particular artificial agent, a piece of software really, with its particular reaction patterns. Together we form a system, and I try to exist, live for a little moment, play within this system. We call this systemic improvisation. You have now heard a human agent interact with some very simple, very simple artificial agents. In interaction with such artificial agents, complexity takes off right away, in spite of the underlying simplicity, as it does not just add a technological spice, it changes our own behavior. Through interaction, new possibilities open up. We mirror ourselves and our agency in it. We do differently. We make differently. We play differently. We become a system together. A human plus technology system where 1 + 1 is much different from 2. So, it is not about what technology does by itself, nor what it adds to what we are doing. It's about what it makes us do differently together. It's about what it makes us do differently together. Thank you.